Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Getting Lit with me, your host, Tommy. Today, we are still drinking our Highland Park over here, and I got to reach around it a little bit because I got the probe lens set up so you can take a look at the Stream Deck. But we'll get to that in a second. There we are. Cheers. Do I go under the lens? There we are. If you're drinking with me tonight, cheers. If you're not, you can still hang out. It's cool. Okay. So let's get right into the meat of it for people that are finding this based on the title, because obviously it's pretty important. Here we go. So this is the Stream Deck. And you'll see this button here, assign clip. Now, I thought that I was going to have to buy a piece of software to take the Stream Deck, and then, I thought I was going to have to buy the Blackmagic Hyper Deck Studio Mini thing. It's like a $600 thing, just so I could play clips over the live stream seamlessly. But even that wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. My end goal was to have open a Mac Finder window, pick the clip with my mouse in Finder, and then just hit play clip and play that seamlessly over the stream with, just have the machine do everything. And without having to think about it. And so I figured that out. I figured out how to do that. And it's really easy. And I'll show you an example of what that looks like right now. So using this right here, all I'm going to do is I'm picking, now you can't see what my computer is doing because I didn't have the foresight to set that up. However, so I have a Finder window open and I picked the clip with, I just highlighted it. And now all I do is hit this assign clip button right here. Okay. And now I can hit play clip. I broke my bowl pretty bad. It's not even screwed in anymore because I dropped it 6 feet onto the floor. It won't screw into my lamp anymore. Now, I'm not going to make you watch that entire clip. That was from an intro of a video I did a little while ago when I broke the Aperture light bulb, the B7C, before I broke the prototype, before it even came out. And so I felt pretty bad about it. But that was a fun one. But I got that all working. So now if I wanted to switch it up and pick a different clip, all I did was highlight a different clip with Finder, I hit that assign clip button, and now I'm going to go back into it. Play clip. And it's that simple, and it works flawlessly. And so what I have is I have OBS open on my Mac, and I have a USB-C to HDMI cable plugged into the A10 Mini Pro into port 2. And there's no built-in tool that will do this on Stream Deck. But what it does, I'm casting OBS's screen onto the A10 Mini Pro's port. But what I do is, as soon as I hit that assign clip button with the companion tool, what is it called? Companion for Stream Deck, you can run shell scripts. And so I'm running a shell script that will then run an Apple script, which is used to interface with Finder. And it will find what window is open in front and what clip is highlighted. And then it will delete the video that I've already created in OBS. It will delete whatever file is in the placeholder of a scene that I've already created, and it will replace that with a symlink to the new file that I have highlighted, and then it'll play it. And I have all the script. I wrote the code myself. I have the Apple script, and I'm going to release that in a video later this week, all for free. So be subscribed if you want to, have that and put that on your Stream Deck. But I think that it's an insanely useful way to use a Stream Deck without having to see. My problem with OBS was I didn't want to set up everything beforehand with a whole bunch of different scenes and different clips, because OBS is confusing, and trying to manage OBS and the A10 Mini Pro and your audio and 3 cameras and all your lights and while I drink, it's impossible. So I figured all that out, and I'm going to give that to you guys later this week. Okay, well, welcome to the stream, guys. We got a wow. Cheers. Hey, Mr. Camera Junkie. Thank you for showing up. And yeah, I'm really excited that I got that all working the way that I needed it to work. And I also set up this little button here to show the overlay. I'll have this whole setup. I'll go over my entire setup for this live stream later this week. We have Tommy. What are you using to connect your 416 to the PC? So this actually is not the 416, the Sennheiser MKH 416. I have that one over here. I usually use the MKH 416 for all of my produced content, which is where I take it in and I edit the videos. But for my live streams specifically, I'm using the Synco D2 without the windscreen, because the windscreen, or the wind foam that they provide with it when you buy it, it's there we go. This is the comment I'm reading. The wind foam they provide with this microphone, the Synco D2, it's too thick and it muffles the sound and it makes it sound pretty bad. But the sound profile without the wind foam is very close to the 416. And when I'm pushing it through, this actually is connected to a MixPre 3 version 1, not the version 2 MixPre 3, because I'm only using it with 24-bit audio. Because even if you're using a MixPre 3 Mark II for live streaming, you should still set it down to 24-bit audio, because on a live stream, you can't use 32-bit audio. So what I do is I put it into 24-bit mode so I can use the hardware limiters, because in 32-bit audio, the MixPre 3 Mark II, it doesn't use hardware limiters because it doesn't need them. So your audio coming through the live stream unprocessed will be clipped. So, well, unless you have the levels set appropriately. But I use the MixPre 3 Mark I for the live stream to connect my microphone. I have it set in 24-bit mode, and I can see that it's clipping constantly. The little thing is turning red over and over and over, but it doesn't matter because the limiters are turned on and they work really, really well. And so that's what I use to connect that through, and then it's routed into the A10 Mini Pro, and that's all going through to YouTube. What's up, Nils? Thanks for showing up. Oh, whiskey cam, forgot about that. Boom. Cheers. All right, let's get back to the lighting for tonight. So tonight, I've got a very special light over here. It's the light that I just reviewed today. It's their global release, I guess. It was today, and then I was supposed to release the video tomorrow, but then I saw other people releasing their videos today. So then I went ahead and I emailed them and I said, hey, can I release this video today? And they're like, yeah, just go for it. So the Litepanels Gemini 1x1 Hard is finally out with the dome diffuser, and I really like it. So if you're looking for a produced video, or after this stream, go watch my review on that. I'm pretty proud of the video. Did some pretty sweet B-rolls. So this is what's giving my whiskey cam light for this evening, and also the Stream Deck shot here, right there. And then over here, you can see behind me, I've got the Rotolite Titan X2. That is giving me this nice kind of side light over here, and it's just kind of side and rim light over here. For my key light, I always have that 3x1 IntelliTech LC120 kind of canvas mat mounted to the ceiling. Behind me for the blue, I've got the Aperture Nova. And those are my lights for today. That's it. Roland says, Tommy, this is a good example of using Companion with scripting. One thing to consider is whether this can be accomplished via OSC commands issued from Companion to OBS or something else. OSC, yeah, I guess I'm not sure what that means yet. So there's an internal command on Companion that lets you run shell scripts. You can just pick any shell script on your computer. But you can't run Apple scripts from the Companion app. But you can activate an Apple script from within a shell script. And so I launched the shell script that then launches the Apple script and returns whatever thing is highlighted back to the shell script. and then it just runs some more script that I wrote that replaces the symlink with the link to the new video. If you're just tuning in, I went over exactly what that all means in the first 5 minutes of this stream. Nick says, what language do you program in for your day job? JavaScript-based stuff. Yeah, I do JavaScript, PHP, MySQL, Linux, system administration, stuff like that. I write whatever code needs to be written, basically. Roland says, if you set your levels appropriately, you could use the Mix Pro 3 Mark II in 24-bit mode for your streams with noise assist. Curious as to whether this isn't desirable for you. So I have the Mix Pro 3 Mark II set up for my produced content with noise assist. I have the left channel set up to record the noise assist track, and then the right channel set up to record a non-noise assist track, because you can control the buses and apply noise assist to just one of the two buses. And I find that insanely useful, because if there's a very clean track with no like air conditioning sound, I'll use that one instead, because I'd rather have a non-modified track than a modified one if I can. But if the AC turns on at all or there's any noise in the background, I'll use the noise assist track, and then I'll run my preset over that. And so instead of dealing with configuring my Mix Pro 3 Mark II over to use it for a live stream every single time, I just use my old Mix Pro 3 Mark I, and because I already have it, it's just always permanently attached to my wall-mounted computer situation as my audio interface, and I think that I really like that. So that's just how I have it set up. Of course, you could use the Mark II as, for live streaming with noise assist and all that, but I find that I just don't need it. And with the limiters, if I'm close to the microphone, any background noise is usually drowned out because it's being limited because of the volume that I have. I don't know. That's just my personal setup, but to each their own. Anyways, whiskey cam time. Let's take a sip. Two videos this week, guys. Did you see the one on the monitor here? This is the 21.5 inch OC monitor. That one, let's go back to this one. That is a pretty sweet monitor. I've been using it for my live streams for the past few months, 2 months roughly now. And I love the larger monitor format for these live streams, so I don't have to swap it off of the multi-view. You can actually see it in the whiskey cam here. I've got it on the multi-view. If I turn it off of multi-view, which I was having to do all the time on the smaller monitor, just to make sure that my program shot was perfect. But with the bigger screen, I'm able to keep the multi-view open the whole time, so I know what I've got on the OBS camera, which is usually the comments or whatever. It's just, I really like it. So Roland says, gotcha. A lot of us run Companion on Raspberry Pis rather than on our Macs. Good info on your noise assist wet dry recording setup. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen people running Companion on their Pis, but I think I was about to do that, but I really, really wanted to have the interface set up to where I could just highlight a video on my Mac and then play it directly into the stream. And nothing else that I've found will do that the way that I wanted to do it. So anyways, I'm looking forward to releasing that code. I think that a lot of people that are trying to do video demonstrations and things like that will really appreciate it. I know that I needed to build this exactly in this way prior to taking the next step into creating my workshops. Because one of the things I want to do is review lighting setups and clips and videos on the workshop, and to stream those out in real time I wanted it to be just professional and work appropriately, and everything else that I found just seemed like it was either going to cost a lot of money or take a lot more time to set up. But when running a stream like this or a workshop like this in real time, someone could email me a video. I could just download it during the workshop and then click on it and hit play. Like, through the stream without having to set up OBS, in any particular extra way. I can pick videos on separate hard drives. I can pick videos wherever, anything that's on my computer. And I think that is my kind of ideal, like, aha, as soon as I realized I could do it. I'm wondering what other types of ways I can utilize this little, the wireless camera died. Anyways, I'm wondering what other ways I can utilize the Stream Deck with scripting, because I run shell scripts all the time to connect to different servers and databases and things like that. I never thought that I would use it for shell scripting or programming, but I'm considering new ways of using it. Now, something else that's kind of interesting, there's this guy, Joel Harver, right? Joel Haver. He did this animation style with this program called Ebsynth, and it's fascinating what this thing does. I did the tutorial that he put out of how he animates things, and I think that it's so clever and so interesting. It's AI assisted rotoscoping, and I have a couple projects in mind, entertainment based projects that I might put out on like a separate channel just for fun. And I think that if you're interested in stuff like that, go look up Joel Haver. I think his name is. It's fascinating and it's really entertaining. So anyways, I'm going to play with that a little bit in the next couple of weeks. We'll see if it goes anywhere. There's a chap named David Joshua Ford who's done something similar with VLC and integrated it all with Stream Deck and Companion. Might be worth checking out his work as well. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'm interested to see if there is more elegant solutions, although I don't think that there will be. The way I have it set up, I actually am going to turn it all into just one button pretty soon. I have the assign clip now just as like a peace of mind, just to make sure that I don't screw something up. But I can easily move it all into just a single button, and then I'll just hit one button and then it'll play it over. I'm going to add some script to the end of it to calculate the length of the video to where when the video ends, it will fade back into my A camera. And I think that is what I'm going to release on my tutorial video. Nick says, that's cool. You run full stack, Linux and sysadmin as well. You could probably work security if you wanted. Oh yeah, thanks, Nick. I am a CTO. I've done system security. I've done all the stuff. Pretty much anything related to web development and systems architecture and APIs. I've had my hands in over the past decade. Neil says, replace IDE macros, copy credentials from LastPass, KeePass, and I have all my Zoom and team meeting controls on there. That's cool, man. Yeah, I'm fascinated with this thing. I didn't think that I was going to use it that much. I just thought it was going to be a fun way to run macros on the ATEM Mini Pro without actually having to click on the macros in the ATEM control panel. But it's just so much more useful than that. I think it's fascinating. One key will turn on my key light, switch to the right OBS scene, and join Zoom for our stand-up. That's cool. I like that. Still looking for a way to use the Stream Deck to start OBS as administrator. Yeah, I mean, that's totally doable. Look up the companion app and then shell scripts. You can launch a shell script with a button, and from there, from shell, you can do anything, sudo, whatever you need. So you can figure it out. And then you can also run Apple scripts, which is the whole reason of why this is interesting. Is with AppleScript, you can open a Chrome window in a particular size. You can set the dimensions beforehand. So yeah, of course, you can do all kinds of crazy things. And the performance boost is measurable. That's great. Very cool. All right. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, there's that. TG Calloway. And let's have some whiskey. PowerShell, huh? No, it's AppleScript. That's what they call it now. So It's just, call it AppleScript, so you can run AppleScript through shell. Yeah, that's all I got. Roland says, have you looked at the A10 Mini Extreme ISO? The super source layouts are really awesome, as well as 8 inputs. Yeah, you know, that's I think that is a fantastic tool. I don't think that I'm going to get it because it's a little too big for my little setup that I've got over here. My setup, I think if I had the A10 Mini Extreme ISO, it's so big. You know, I have everything wall mounted with like super clamps and stuff. That's too much for me, I think. But I really would like to play with some of those super source layouts. I think that is really interesting. But now that I've learned what I can do with OBS, and I have the Stream Deck, and I'm not even using OBS as the encoder. I'm still using the A10 Mini Pro as the encoder. I'm just using it to get like the comments on screen. I'm using it for assigning and playing clips and stuff. That's the thing. Even with the A10 Mini Extreme ISO, I would still have to use the Stream Deck and OBS in order to pick a clip in Finder and then play it over the stream right away. So I don't have any personal need for it. I really don't. And even using 3 cameras on a stream is sometimes a little bit much, you know? Like, that one's not even freaking working. Like, it's not even connected. This one, the whiskey cam, you know, if this is just not going to be connected, come on. What are you doing? The camera turned off. That's why. Of course it is. There we go. And now, of course, it's got to reconnect. That's the thing, you know. So running 3 cameras on a stream is a big enough pain in the ass. I don't think that I would be able to work well with 8. So I'm going to stick with the 4. 3 cameras, and then also the OBS input for all my video clips and stuff. Ben's Tech Lab, I just got the A10 Extreme ISO. The plan is to keep it tucked away and controlled via Companion and Stream Deck, so I don't mind the size. It's going under the desk. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, if I was going to integrate the A10 Mini Extreme ISO, you know, that's the thing about Blackmagic products. They just make the names longer and longer. They don't ever try and shorten them or anything. Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, for example. Yeah, if I had one of those, I would definitely want to move up to a Stream Deck XL. The little Stream Deck that I got, I don't think would cut it anymore. But I'm going to stick with what I've got. I think that what I've got works really well, and there's no reason to buy all that extra stuff that I would just find myself not using. I think that it's a little fun trying to find the challenge in making the most out of what you have sometimes. Which is one of the reasons I, wanted to move away from the Red back when I got it. It's just one of the reasons. Whiskey cam. Well, this camera is just not even doing anything now, so that can go away. Get out of here, probe lens. Okay. There we are. Back in action. And just like that, now it's easier. Let's get these comments back on the screen. Have you eaten today? Yes, I have. I've had 3. Actually, I just had sushi. Thanks for checking. So let's talk about the Litepanels Gemini 1x1 hard. Pretty impressive panel. If you have watched the video already, then you know what I'm talking about. But I was getting 25,000 lux at 1 meter with the diffusion removed. And that's bright. That's brighter than any other 1x1 panel I've measured. Dual color, solid color, full color. It's the brightest that I've measured at 1 meter. Now, it is a focused beam, and in the video you can see that I had an empirical output test, which essentially I had the camera set at like f8 or f9, and then I set all the panels to 100% just to kind of see them side by side. I'll be doing a lot more of that in the big showdown that I'll be doing soon, so you can see exactly what each of these different full color panels do. So I'm excited for that. I've been looking forward to the showdown for like the past 6 to 8 months. So it's been a long time coming, and I'm glad to finally have reviewed all the panels that I really wanted to review. And I think the next wave of full color lights is going to be the RGB WCL panels. They're going to start coming out with more of those. I have one, but they're still working on the firmware. It was intended, it came from a stage lighting company, so there's certain aspects that don't line up particularly with video production, particularly the flicker and the frames, and there's just some oddities in terms of the color qualities, and so they're working on the firmware, and then when that is updated, then I'll have a new video for that. Alexa. Alexa, play some classical music. Sorry, guys. I had to try. Dash A. Oh, Alex. Yeah. Checking if I ate today. Oh, of course, the comments. I always forget to go back to the comments whenever I turn on one of these Instagram things or the whiskey cam. I should remember to do that. Well, I think that I've covered everything that I wanted to cover in a pretty short period of time. What time are we at? We're at 30 minutes. So just open it up to some Q&A. If you guys got some questions about anything, let me know. Feel free to ask questions about the light. It does all the cool things. We can go into special effect mode. There we go. Roland says, that's a beautiful light. The convex shape is interesting to me as I've only used flat panels. Well, that is interesting. Go check out my review on it after this. In fact, after this stream ends, you should go watch it. But it comes with this diffuser. This is the dome diffuser that comes with the new 1x1 hard now. And then it also comes with this ultralight diffusion, which is this guy. And then you have a whole series of lenses, and that's what they're using to make it so bright, at 1 meter. So this is the ultralight diffusion. Pop that on there, and it gets kind of diffused. And then it's super diffused, and it is actually a nice little kind of space light, a little bit more than 180 degrees because it protrudes beyond the sides of the light, so you can kind of see it when you're behind it, like this. So it's still lighting a little bit to the sides behind it and stuff. So I really like the shape. I think it's fantastic. Let's go there. And he was still waiting on their 60X. Ooh. Yeah, that's the thing with those shipping times. Sometimes it's... let's move on. Yeah, Aperture has a lot of demand for their products. Spruce says, do you want to talk about how you get your comments onto your stream? Well, yeah, sure. So Aaron Parecki, he and a couple other guys developed this extension. It's a Chrome extension that you can download. You can go find it on his channel, Aaron Parecki. Let's see. I'll actually find it. I'll link it here. Aaron Parecki comments on live stream. Let's see if I can find the video. Here we go. I think this is it. This right here. I linked a video, and I'm going to... Yeah, so it's in the comments on the live stream. But he basically developed this extension that opens up a Chrome window, and it will stylize the comments and animate the comments whenever you click on them. And also, when there's a super chat, it'll do something really cool. It'll put like a gold banner, and it'll stylize the super chat comments specifically. And it's all customizable. You can determine how far left or right or how big the font is. It's fantastic. And so that's what I use now. I use OBS, and it's the same thing. It's another reason why I needed to use OBS. And another reason why I developed the script to take a clip that you have highlighted in Finder and turn it into just take over the stream and play the clip over the stream. So OBS I've found to be extremely useful once I learned how to use it with the Stream Deck. I use it for comments. I use it for playing clips over the streams. So just download the extension and then watch this video, and you should understand how to do it after that. Alex says, what are your tips for lighting up green screens? Use separate lights for your green screen. Try and use flat lighting and light it all perfectly even. Use a backlight to help separate yourself, give yourself some separation from what's behind you, and key yourself separately. Those are my only tips. I don't do any green screen, but from what I know, that's what you're supposed to do. I might try and do some green screen stuff in the future just to demonstrate, or even try and see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Haven't watched that video yet. Will it replace anything for you? Good question. I know, Nils, you've watched the stream and kind of know my philosophy that when I find a piece of equipment that I really like, it may retire other equipment from my studio. Yeah, I think that it is going to replace a couple of things in my studio, but I'm going to leave that for after my showdown, and I'll talk about those on the live stream after I do that showdown video. But yeah, the Gemini 1x1, it's incredibly bright. Check the video out. Look at the few comparisons I put in there. With the Gemini 1x1 soft and the hard, having two panels of the same ecosystem that are both of the same user interface, and they're both great. I love it. So yeah, it's going to replace a couple things. We'll talk about those pretty soon. Probably the Lupo fixtures. Probably going to replace my Lupo 1x1s, simply because it's a light that can do both soft and hard. And that's one of the reasons I got the Titan fixtures, is because you can dial in the diffusion. But the Gemini, it's way more lightweight than the Rotolight fixtures. And I really, really like that. So for traveling around, I think that instead of Lupo, I'd probably rather take a set of Geminis. Chris says, just got my first aperture light, the ALF7, and found out about the Lupo Smart Panel dual color with a bit more oomph. Are there any other lights of similar size and budget that people are sleeping on? Yeah, so Lupo's Action Panel and the Smart Panel are awesome. So if you've been looking at the Smart Panels, also check out the Action Panel full color. It is one of my favorite. It is my favorite sub 1x1 fixture. It's super lightweight, really easy to use. You can use a VMAP battery to power it, or you can use AC power. It comes with a little diffuser that's kind of janky, but it looks really, really cool, and it works really well. And it comes with a backpack. So check out the Lupo Action Panel. Sub 1x1 full color panels. That's what I recommend to people. Have you seen the Falcon F7 Fold lights? They come with grids and softboxes, are surprisingly bright, and seem to work really well. Those layered diffusers are cool, by the way. Yes, I love the layered diffusers on this thing. I have seen the Fold lights. I didn't jump on them because I like Aputure's ecosystem for the pocket lights so far. I have a few different brands of pocket lights. I've got the Atom Cubes, which I like. I have the Aputure MCs, which I like because I have a bunch of lights in the Aputure ecosystem. They work well together. I didn't go into the Falconized F7 Fold light ecosystem because it doesn't seem to really work with anything else, and they would be really hard to resell if I ever decided to get rid of them. Although they are the f7 is a great light. It's really bright, has great color quality, and so the f7 fold is it's two of them, you know? So it's a good light, and if you're not already invested in certain light ecosystems, then, you know, I think they're a good value. I compared them in my Pocket Light Showdown, just the regular f7, and I think that it got a lot of points. This is the video. I can't even see it. It cut it off. Whatever. Nick says, I used the Falcon Eyes 8TD on a shoot last week. It's useful in compact light that runs on Sony NP batteries. Do you like the light quality of the larger models they make? Would you rather use a COB? I really like Falcon Eyes lights. In fact, I have one behind me over here. I usually turn it on for these streams as my hair light. I don't know why I didn't do it this time. Now it is. But yeah, I use an RX 818, which it's a full color canvas style light that also has V-mount power built into the like power ballast thing, and it's fantastic. It's one of my favorites. I've used it for almost, I don't know, 2 years now, and I think that it's one of my favorites. Clearly, I have it wall mounted to my studio, and I use it for every video that I film. So yeah, I think the larger lights that Falcon Eyes make are a good value. Nils says, any intention on trying to do DMX controller-like stuff with the Stream Deck? Any solutions out there that would even support that aperture plus rest integration or some Bluetooth magic via desktop app? Yeah, I've been looking at a wireless DMX controller that seems to support everything that I want it to support. And that's actually one of the things that I was curious about, is using the Stream Deck to control stuff with DMX. So yeah, I do have some thoughts in the work. I don't think, I don't have any concrete advice just yet. So, I mean, I don't even know if it's possible, but I will try. I'll take a look at it and I'll let you know. But I do intend on getting more involved into some of the DMX stuff. You're welcome, Spruce. Let's have a drink. Cheers. All right. Alex has been nagging Tommy to produce the definitive video on green screen chroma key. So far, he's resisted my pleas. All right. I'm going to put it in the queue to try green screen and chroma key and stuff. I'll try. We'll see. I'll take a look at it. Hang on. This is my queue, my log of videos that I want to do and I plan on doing, things that I've already done, things I reviewed. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. This whole page is all crossed out. That's stuff that I've succeeded in doing. This page is all finances of how much my channel has earned, stuff that I've sold, what's my budget. It's all on paper. I have ideas. Ooh, I need to cut that one off. I did that video. Now, green screen. It's in the log, officially. I will look into it. Neil says, have you looked into BitFocus Companion? Yeah, you're talking to Nils. I mean, that's what I was using to run these clips. And so for anyone that's tuned in late into the stream, if you haven't already seen my Gemini 1x1 hard video, I've set this up. Actually, here I can use the whiskey cam. I don't even know why I had the probe lens set up earlier. I'm gonna do this again. So what I did is I highlighted a video with Finder on my Mac, and I can assign the clip right there, and now I can run the clip. Hey, it's me, Tommy. This is the brand new Litepanels Gemini 1x1 hard. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you may know that I reviewed the 1x1 soft a long time ago, a couple years ago. I went over in pretty great detail the user
I'm not going to make you
interface
watch
and the features
whole
of the
review
1x1
of
soft,
this light
so
right
I'm not
here
going to
right
try
now,
and
because
completely repeat
then, of
myself.
course, I would get less views on that video.
The interface is
but that's
pretty much
all
identical,
thanks to,
and most of the features are the same.
The
but what
BitFocus
is different about the 1x1 hard
shell script that I wrote, and then
the hardware.
script.
And
Again,
I've also
I'll
got a
release
couple of
that
accessories on here that I'd like to talk about,
so
which
you
are
guys
compatible
can do
with
that too.
both the soft and the hard
It
panel.
works flawlessly, and I love it.
The 1x1 hard will cost
play whole videos. It doesn't matter how big they are.
It comes with
40
this
gigabytes.
dome diffuser,
They could
which
be,
is really quite
just a
nice,
quick
and we'll talk more about
meme
that in a
clip
minute.
If you wanted to show something on a stream, all works really, really well, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. What's up, Bart? Thanks for showing up, man. Chris says, let me know when you're offloading them lupos. Yeah, it's going to have to be, and we'll see if I do. And if and when I do, it's going to be after the huge showdown that I have coming up. Haven't used any of their larger lights yet, but I used 4 of the F7 folds in a portable talking head scene, and they worked well as a key and fill green screen lighting. That's good. Thanks for sharing, Roland. He's not looked at it yet. Nils, you should look at it. That's how the BitFocus companion, that's how I'm running shell scripts, by clicking that button. Spruce says, Tommy suggested a Falcon Eyes RX18 TDX2 a few weeks ago. I bought it. It's excellent. Hell yeah. You get a cheers. Whiskey cam. Cheers. Roland says, I really think BitFocus Companion is the vehicle for the sort of integration you're discussing. Yeah, it really is. I agree. Bart says, so I'm sure I missed it, but did he just hack his Stream Deck using Companion? I did. I also had to write some shell script, and then I had to write Apple script, and I had, because in order to launch Apple script with the Companion, you can only launch shell scripts with Companion, but then you can launch Apple scripts with a shell script. So I launched Apple script to get the input of what file is selected in your Finder, and then I return that to my shell script that then replaces the video file that I've already set up in OBS on a scene with a symlink to the file that's been selected. So like I said, I'll have all that code available for you guys and instructions on how to integrate that this weekend. And I think that that video is going to be very popular with pretty much anyone that has anything to do with streaming and filmmaking and trying to share clips of video through something like the A10 Mini Pro, or even really just with OBS. It's awesome. I love it. Mr. Camera Junkie says, Tommy, all you have to do is shoot green lights as your background and key it out. Yeah, if you're using a full color light, it will be a lot easier to key that out, because you can just pick green, right? Green screen. Here we go. All right, now I'm a green screen. Here, let's go with white. No, let's go tungsten. Art says, so Tommy can be pressured into specific videos. Haha. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, if a lot of people ask for a thing, then, of course I might make it. Bart says, knew it was Companion. Yep, of course. Thanks so much for considering the green screen topic. I think that with your lighting expertise, you'd be able to offer some unique insights. Much appreciated. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how challenging it is, or if I'm like, why is everyone complaining about how hard this is? This is so easy. We'll see if that happens. Bart says the clip is still running. The video's still playing? All good? Oh. Oh, did I mess it up? No, whatever. It looks like it's all good now. I don't think I was looking at my monitor. The video is still playing. Yeah, I switched out the clip. I guess maybe I'll have to look at that script that I wrote. I'm Kevin, old geezer lighting guy out of San Francisco. What's up, Tommy? Well, what's up, Kevin? Well, we just I reviewed the Litepanels Gemini 1x1 hard, and I really, really, really like it. And I'm streaming now, and I'm using this tool called the Stream Deck, which is really fantastic, and I hacked it to play clips over a stream
from Finder that you have highlighted, so you don't have to have like a whole bunch of black magic hardware to run clips that are selected beforehand on an SD card. And I'm pretty happy with it. So I need to refine the script a little bit, and then I'm going to put a video out. Thanks for asking, Kevin. What's up with you? Daniel says, dang, looks like I just missed the live stream. Well, you got about 10 minutes left. Chris says, I have 2 Aperture MWs en route to complement the AL F7. They were on a BH photo deal for $80 off or 80% off, I'm not sure. So I couldn't talk myself out of it. I'm planning to film mostly overheads and small machinery stuff. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing some of those videos. Tag me on Twitter when you make one, and I'll watch it. And if you need my Twitter, it's right here, at TG Calloway. And I'm also on Instagram. I try to post there sometimes too. All good now. Good. I'm glad that worked out before I got to this comment. Spruce says, really looking forward to your new clip this weekend. I had issues with OBS and moved over to QLab, which is very capable, but I'm looking to head back to OBS. Yeah, I really like OBS now that I've learned how to use it, for the most part anyways. Clearly, there's still a little bit of a learning curve, but with OBS and the A10 Mini Pro, I mean, I have a little button here that will, here, I'll show you. It can turn on and off the comments right here, right? So I turn on and off the downstream key, it'll fade in and out, and I can switch that over to my little Twitter handle, boom, right there. You go back to comments. This button right here will switch me to my A-cam and turn the comments on if I hit that. Ready? Boom, comments. So I think that OBS is fantastic. I've said fantastic probably like 40 times on this freaking stream. It's just been my new favorite word, I guess. I don't know. Mission Creek Style says, nice job. I'm kicking back after work. I work at Adobe on Premiere. Well, that's cool. So are you going to crash this evening? You know, just like, is that what you say when you go to bed? You're going to crash? Because, you know, Premiere. I'm just giving you a hard time. I used Premiere for a long time, and I found that some of the clips that I was trying to import were just like way oversaturated or something, and then also I would get some crashes, and it was really frustrating. So I tried DaVinci Resolve. I really liked it, and so I use DaVinci Resolve now, but I think that Premiere is doing some really interesting things, and I think probably towards the end of this year, maybe the beginning of next year, we'll probably see a lot of new interesting features in Premiere that will call a lot of people back. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I've liked Premiere, used it for years, and then stability moved me to DaVinci. But I think that that's really cool. I appreciate the work that you're doing at Adobe for filmmakers. And I use Photoshop and Audition and Lightroom and Illustrator. And I think all those programs are great. I don't know how Premiere has been doing lately. I'm wondering, once Apple comes out with the M1X, the difference in performance between how Adobe and how DaVinci are performing will probably cement positions in market shares. Those are my thoughts, personally. But I think they're all great programs, and everyone has their own kind of flavor. Bart says, Chris Polk, do the MWs and F7s are both awesome lights. They are. Roland says, one alternative to OBS for streaming videos is iMix 16 Pro 64. I've never heard of that. It runs on Mac OS and iOS. I'm using it on iPad mini to play clips. It speaks OSC, which is an open source protocol API. That's interesting. I'll have to take a look at that after this stream. I am interested. Bart says 1 hour till Mortal Kombat. Mission Creek says oversaturated on the Mac P3 screen. Sorry, man. No, it wasn't oversaturated on the Mac screen. It was oversaturated in the renders. It would play back just fine, but any render that I did would oversaturate. I tried every different setting possible. I don't know what it was. A Premiere engineer could probably fix it, but I'm not one, so I didn't know how. M1X. I'm referring to Apple's
release of the M1, but we're all waiting on the M1X, which is like their 2-processor system, which should be faster. So Apple's new iMac, right? It's just the laptop, but with 2 more USB ports. It's not, so I know there's an ergonomics difference. There's more ports available due to being powered separately. It's the same performance. You're not going to have any more performance out of the new iMac than you are out of the laptops. So I was looking forward to having a more powerful processor in the iMac, and I would have ordered one, but I'm waiting for whatever they're going to do with the iMac Pro. Hopefully that will have the new M1X that is currently a legend, or legendary, or fake, or fabled, or rumored, who knows. But right now I'm still working on my Generation 1 iMac Pro, and it works fine. Scappa says, yeah, I switched to DaVinci for stability and also speed. It was night and day difference from Adobe. Yeah, the big thing for me was the render times. When I moved from Premiere to DaVinci Resolve, my render time cut down by about, 90%. So that sealed the deal for me. Daniel Scott Films, yes, watching MK tomorrow in IMAX. New movie. I'll have to watch it. Bart says, just watch the 1995 version. Not as bad as I remembered. Really? With those the CG, it was, when I watched it in 1995, it was pretty good. I saw it not too long ago, and I was less impressed. There's a rumored MacBook Pro with an SD slot. Yeah, I joked on Twitter. I think that the new iMac Pro is just going to come with 2 more USB slots in the power brick. Otherwise, be identical. Bart says, just got an M1 MacBook Air. I'm impressed so far for the fast edits on the road. Yeah, I'm curious, how does the M1 in DaVinci Resolve compare for editing a real video with, some lower thirds and color grading and like 3 clips from like the, 10-bit 422 from the A7S III. Is it way smoother than the iMac, Pro series or your previous computer? Or is it's just about the same, just like, takes less power, maybe a little bit faster on like other stuff? I don't know. I've been curious, but I haven't converted yet. Art says, my kid's been on a Mortal Kombat kick this week. Watched the first 2 movies. Dad, these graphics were good back then. Don't judge me. That's hilarious. Mortal Kombat. All right, I'm going to have to watch it tomorrow. Roland says, I wish Apple would allow the use of external cameras and switchers on the iPad. If they did, I'd use an iPad Pro for video stuff. My audio video processing is in hardware, so easy to switch. Yeah. You can use, Roland, you can use the BitFocus companion on an iPad that way, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have an iPad app that you can then just simulate a Stream Deck on your iPad, and then you could use that for switching. I think you can. Yeah, I don't know. I think so. Bart says, haven't had a chance to put the M1 through the paces yet, but I want to try and stress it with some 12KB raw. Let me know what happens, Bart. Do you think Mac OS and iOS will converge as they're getting closer to identical hardware? I think that they're going to become more compatible, and this is actually something that I was considering getting one of the new iPad Pros and an Apple Pencil, because some of the stuff I want to do for entertainment purposes has to do with using Ebsynth and then rotoscoping or tracing myself out into different characters, but with an Apple Pencil using iPad with Sidecar, right? So I want to take a frame from a video, drag it into Sidecar on the iPad, and then trace over it with the Apple Pencil, because using a mouse is a pain in the ass. Using an iPad would be fast as shit. So I want to do that. So if they can get more and more native in terms of the performance, I know that previously trying to do that with Sidecar on the old iPad Pro, it was just kind of laggy. But I think with the new M1 setups, with the latest OS X's rather, I think that it's going to be a lot smoother and possibly closer to a native feeling. Being that the M1 chips can run iPad apps or iPhone apps natively on the hardware, I think that process is going to be a lot more fluid for animators, and also it's going to make this experiment that I want to do a lot easier. So that's something that has been really interesting to me. So if anyone knows anything about that, let me know, because I might be picking up an iPad and a new Apple Pencil. We'll see. I was saying Demon Slayer is what I'll watch instead, but Mortal Kombat looks interesting. Got the M1 Mac Mini, super happy with it. Been a PC dude my whole life. Chris, let me know if you've got if you get the new iPad M1 and Apple Pencil. Let me know how that feels in Photoshop. Let me know if it feels completely native, like if you were just in Procreate or something. Tommy says, what I mean is that I have Companion Pi, Stream Deck XL, A10 Mini, Extreme ISO, Art Voice channel to acquire, process audio, video. I wish I could use this stuff with the iPad. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff, man. I don't know. I guess Sidecar is your best bet to use it all with the iPad if you can use it on your Mac already. Those are my thoughts so far. Scapo, thank you for the question here. What do we got? Odd question. Have you seen any decent softbox options for small RGB light panels? Bought a couple of the G2 and missing the softboxes from the Aperture MC. Decent softbox options. There we go. No, I'm sorry, man. I really haven't seen any, because here's the thing. All the little different pocket lights are all different sizes. So tiny softboxes is kind of a weird thing to make. I know, so DOP Choice, they make grids for 1x1 panels, and a lot of them are used for a lot of different fixtures. They're all basically the same size. So making an elastic that fits around them makes sense. But I haven't seen a lot of, unless they're natively made by the manufacturer, I don't see a lot of soft boxes for pocket lights, I guess. Sorry, man. I wish I had a better answer for you there. Good question, though. Stop. Do you animate yourself? Make a puppet? What? So no. So Mission Creek. There is. Let's take the last sip of the night here. Whiskey Cam. Cheers. This is the end of the night. So there's a program, and I talked about it a little bit earlier. It is called Absinthe. And you can basically, if you export a video clip to video frames, to PNG frames rather, you can open up one of those frames in Photoshop and just animate it however you want. And then you can open up Absinthe and you can point to that keyframe, and then it will use AI-assisted rotoscoping based on what you painted. And it will apply your styles algorithmically to the previous and the next frames. There's this guy, Joel Haver, who has kind of become the guy that animates with it in a particular way. And using that as inspiration, not copying him or doing the same animation style, but simply using Absinthe to create an entertaining series, I have an idea for an entertainment type experiment that I want to launch, and we'll see what happens with it. But it seems it's very fascinating to me what it can do, and I want to optimize the process before I get started with it, because if I really like it, I don't want to have to spend an inordinate amount of time doing it. So when I get onto that, I'll talk about it on a stream when I have progress. I've already animated a few frames to experiment with Absinthe and learn how to use it, and I really like it so far. So we'll see. Bounce a 5-in-1. Yeah, that'll work for diffusion. The soft boxes for the F7 Fold are kind of like shower cappy diffusers with elastic. Maybe those can be purchased separately. Yeah, just try and find a, that's interesting. What about a shower cap? That seems like kind of the perfect answer to that right there. Because, you use shower curtains, right, for diffusion. So why not a shower cap? Seems like that would work perfect. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for showing up, guys. Yeah, I feel like there should be a large market for universal mount considering how many small RGB panels exist. Yeah, little shower cap. That'll do it. Right on, look into it. Thanks for the heads up. A flash diffuser kit. Screw the ball head. Tripod through the slot where the flash would go. Kind of worked. Yeah, I mean, you could also just take a couple of clothespins and a piece of paper, right? That would work. Like literally, if you just take a couple of clamps, say this is your light, right? Take the clamps, clamp a piece of paper here and here, but just have it go like in a circle right here. That's diffusion right there, right? I mean, that might work too. Joel Haver, yeah, that dude basically created a Who AI animated Cineverse. Yeah, it's hilarious. You guys got to go watch his videos. They're extremely entertaining. Such a wonderful oddball. Yeah. And cool. I do animation stuff. Worked at Pixar on 2 features. I'll tune into your Epson stuff. Well, shit, this guy. Man, so you worked at Pixar on 2 features, and now you work at Adobe on Premiere. I'm curious about you. I'll stay tuned to you as well. If you have any videos on your channel, I want to poke around. Do you have any personal entertainment projects? I'm curious. All right, guys, if you want to continue the conversation, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at TGCalloway and or Instagram. That little sick-ass bird right there, I designed it. I took Twitter's logo and I put Instagram's logo over it because, I'm a designer now. Super handy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And if you haven't already watched my review on the Litepanels Gemini 1x1 or, where is it? Here we go. The OC monitor right here. Go watch those. And if you were curious what my comment overlay looks like, this is what it looks like. When I click on a comment, it does that. And that's just simply keyed out over to this. Are you open to non-AV related tech and business engagements? If so, what's the best way to contact you? Right here, buddy. Twitter. Hit me up. Of course I am. And peace. Do I like rum? Yeah, let's get this question here. Do I like rum? Of course I do. Rum is excellent. Vodka's good too. Tequila makes me angry. But I like it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.